Jerry Ehman was drinking his morning coffee. It was a normal Tuesday. He picked up a computer printout from the night before. Routine data, nothing special. He started scanning the numbers. Then, he stopped. He picked up his red pen. He circled 6 characters on the page. And in the margin, with a slightly shaking hand, he wrote one word. Wow. Just wow. That single word became the most famous annotation in the history of science. And here is the thing that gets me every time I think about this. This was not a conspiracy theorist. This was not someone looking for aliens. This was a careful, methodical scientist who had spent years looking at boring data. On the night of August 15th, at exactly 11:16 p.m., Big Ear detected something. A radio signal coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. Deep space, billions of kilometers away. The signal lasted 72 seconds. Then it disappeared, as suddenly as it had appeared. It has never been detected again. First, the frequency. The signal arrived at 1,420 megahertz. This is the frequency at which hydrogen atoms naturally emit radio waves. And here is why that matters. Hydrogen is the most common element in the universe. Scientists had argued for decades that any intelligent civilization trying to communicate across space would use this frequency. Because think about it. Any civilization advanced enough to build a radio telescope would know about hydrogen, would know its frequency. It is the one thing every civilization in the universe would have in common. The wow signal arrived on exactly that frequency. Second, the intensity. The signal was 30 times stronger than the background noise of space.
Not slightly stronger, not a little unusual. 30 times stronger. This was not a whisper. This was something shouting. Third, the structure. The signal rose in intensity, peaked, then fell. Exactly as you would expect from a signal coming from a fixed point in space as the Earth rotated beneath the telescope. It behaved exactly like a transmission from a single distant source. Everything about it said, "This is not natural. This is artificial. This is made." And Jerry Ehman, a careful scientist who spent his whole career avoiding exactly this kind of excitement, looked at those 6 characters and could only write one word. The scientific community did not know what to do with this. Astronomers pointed their telescopes at the same patch of sky more than 50 times over the following months. 50 times. Looking for any repeat, any confirmation, any sign that whatever spoke would speak again. Nothing. Complete silence. As if whatever had spoken had said everything it wanted to say in 72 seconds and then gone quiet forever. Now, here is what I want you to think about. In 1977, the year of the wow signal, humanity had been broadcasting radio waves into space for about 80 years. Our earliest transmissions, from the 1890s, had already traveled 80 light-years by then, reaching thousands of star systems. Think about that. For 80 years, we had been shouting into the dark, telling the universe we existed. If someone out there had been listening, they would have known we were here. They would have known we could send and receive radio waves. They would have known the hydrogen frequency. And on August 15th, 1977, something used exactly that knowledge to send us a message on exactly the right frequency at extraordinary power from deep space. And we missed it. We only found it the next morning in a coffee-stained printout because nobody was nobody was watching. I find that genuinely difficult to sit with. We received what might have been the most important message in human history, and we found out about it after breakfast. Now, here is where the story gets even more complicated. Because in 2024, nearly half a century after the signal, scientists may have finally found an explanation. And the explanation is both fascinating and deeply unsatisfying. A team of astronomers from the University of Puerto Rico, led by astrobiologist Abel Mendez, proposed that the wow signal may have been caused by a cold cloud of hydrogen in space, energized by a powerful magnetic star called a magnetar, emitting a laser-like burst of radio waves at exactly 1,420 megahertz. Their conclusion: the wow signal was probably natural, probably not aliens, probably a rare cosmic event. Probably. Here is what Abel Mendez himself said about his own research. He said, "Our results do not solve the mystery of the wow signal, but they give us the clearest picture yet of what it was and where it came from." The clearest picture yet, after 47 years, is still not a clear picture. Even the scientists proposing the most credible natural explanation admit they have not solved it. And here is the twist that nobody talks about. The magnetar theory requires something extraordinary to have happened. A magnetar, one of the most powerful objects in the universe, would have had to fire a precise beam of radiation at exactly the right hydrogen cloud, at exactly the right moment, to produce a signal of that specific intensity on that specific frequency. Think about the odds of that. Pointed directly at our telescope, on a random night in Ohio. Randomly. Just. Some scientists have quietly noted that if you ran the numbers, the probability of a natural event producing the wow signal is not dramatically higher than the probability of an artificial one.
We did not solve the mystery. We found a possible natural explanation that is itself almost as improbable as the alternative. And the alternative is that someone sent it. Jerry Ehman died in 2024 at the age of 83. He spent 47 years being asked the same question: did you believe it was aliens? His answer never changed. He said, "I'm not going to make that claim. The data is the data. Something sent that signal. What sent it? I cannot say." A careful scientist, to the end. But here is what I want you to consider. In 1977, humanity had no confirmed exoplanets, no evidence of water on Mars. We thought we might be alone. Today, we know there are more planets in our galaxy than stars. We know water exists throughout the solar system. We know the building blocks of life exist in the clouds between stars. The universe is far more full of the ingredients for life than anyone imagined in 1977. And in the middle of all of that, on one specific night, something used exactly the right frequency, at extraordinary power, to send a signal that lasted exactly 72 seconds and was never repeated. Either the universe produced the most precise natural coincidence in the history of astronomy, or something out there, a very long time ago, tried to say hello. And we were not paying attention. Big Ear, the telescope that detected the wow signal, was demolished in 1997, torn down to build a golf course. The most historically significant radio telescope in human history. The instrument that may have received the only confirmed message from another civilization. Demolished for a golf course. The original printout, with Jerry Ehman's red pen annotation, is preserved at Ohio State University. 6 characters circled in red. 1 word in the margin. It is the only physical evidence we have that something out there may have tried to reach us. Today, new radio telescopes scan the sky with capabilities that dwarf anything that existed in 1977. Projects like Breakthrough Listen, funded with $100 million, search millions of star systems continuously. They have found nothing like the WOW signal. Not once, in decades of searching. Which raises the question that keeps astronomers awake at night. Was 1977 a one-time event? Did something speak once and decide we were not worth speaking to again? Or is the silence since 1977 the most terrifying message of all? Jerry Ehman circled 6 characters on a printout, wrote 1 word, and in doing so, asked the biggest question in human history. Are we alone? The WOW signal lasted 72 seconds. The silence since has lasted 47 years. And counting.